Hello everyone, and welcome back to Seeker's Journey, where our young tribe is currently trying to seek out all of the different genes that are possible to unlock here in the full release version of Niche. I am still kind of blown away. It hasn't even been a week to enjoy this full release version, and already we are daydreaming of new versions coming out, and already they have reported in the Steam page, the Steam discussion section of Niche, that there have been enough sales and enough support that hopefully there will be many community polls and updates coming in the future, and I am so tickled and so excited. And you guys, I am so in love with this little tribe. After the streamed tribe that we did, the Legend Hunters tribe that we streamed live on Saturday, that was full of chaos, fire, and doom, it is so nice to come to this tribe who were previously named the Seekers and just enjoy our time frolicking with the beautiful flowers that Juxie, our founding male, whose bones are sitting right there on that cliffside. Oh, that's so sad. But Juxie would frolic in the flowers and pick them for his beautiful wife Hana, who had fallen in love with his pink coloring. In fact, they should still be in our family tree. They're not gone yet, you guys. As long as they're in our family tree, we can remember them. Juxie and his beautiful berry coloring, Hana, his gorgeous mate who just really loved the sweet scent of flowers, and their daughter Kissa, who has inherited the leadership of the tribe. And after talking with you guys in the comments, we are actually going to rename this tribe. I kind of did a silly thing and I named this tribe the Seekers, and then I named our live stream tribe the Legend Seekers, and that's kind of a big whoops because then we have two tribes that pretty much have the same name. So I asked you guys last time if, because this tribe really loves pink colored creatures, they really love kind of that berry coloring, and presenting berries is truly considered a sign of love amongst each other, should we rename them the Berry Tribe? And a lot of you guys were like, well, I get it, but it's just not that cool a name. And then Cat Meow said something else. We're gonna get to you in a second, Cat Meow. But Pixel Popcorn actually suggested the name the Petalberry Tribe, and I thought that was really sweet. So we are going to rename these guys the Petalberry Tribe. I think that goes very well with the fact that they love berries and fruit. We definitely will be unlocking some genes related to collecting up fruit in the future, by the way. There is the Stinky Tail, if I can find it. Hang on. I know it's hiding in here somewhere. There's just so many genes. All right, Fishing Tail, Stinky Tail, there it is. But Stinky Tail is actually one of the genes that we need to unlock, because this tribe's goal is to unlock all of the possible genes, and you unlock it by collecting 30 smelly fruit, which grow on jungle islands, actually. So I think that's pretty fitting, because this tribe really loves flowers and they really love berries, and considering the fact that Kissa, the tribe leader, has fallen in love with a who's a berry picking Don Juan with 2 berry bushes and 2 beautiful nests, who smells slightly of stinky cheese. I think that this tribe is actually all about things that smell, and that maybe not even smell good, because I don't know about you guys, but Aruzu doesn't, I mean, yeah, he looks kind of like a mushroom. A lot of you guys were like, Aruzu the mushroom, but I don't think Aruzu actually like smells really good, to be completely honest. But I think that Kissa is kind of led by her nose and strong scents and a lot of berries with those double nibble finger hands that he happens to have, has totally swept her off her feet. I think that's going to be really interesting, because I feel like maybe their children will go for the stinkier side of things. So they might go for the more like a berry-oriented, fruit-oriented side of the tribe, and we'll have to see if maybe what they pursue. So if Kissa and Aruzo and their children like stinky things and they're going to look for stinky things, then we might have their children focus on getting big nose, you know, the ability to smell better. All the better to smell your stinky cheese, my dear. And so they need to explore in grass about another 41 more times, and then we will unlock Big Nose, and it would be fun to see their children end up with big noses. And then it might be fun to see if they also end up with poison fangs at some point in the future, so that they could focus on eating the poison berries. So this tribe might really be all about things that smell, which may even eventually take them into things like catching fish, because fish are smelly, or maybe falling in love with a berrina. who really stinks. So I think that that's what Kissa and Aruzo's line are going to be. They're going to be following the strongest scent, the stinkiest thing they can find, the best smelling noses, and the most delicious fruits and berries. That's what they're going to be going for, including maybe stinky fish. And meanwhile, over here, Raspberry and Romu happen to have that beautiful pink coloring, and they have just had a bright red baby girl named Hannah. And a few of you guys noticed that little Hannah, who is named Hannah with 2 A's after her grandmother Hannah, has the exact same body type as her grandma. And I thought that was so sweet and fitting. The only thing that's different are the color of her eyes and the color of her fur. But I do believe they have the same hind legs, they have the same runner's paw, they have the same claw, they even have the same red-tipped claw. So I think this tribe might be focused more on aesthetic beauty, on petals and flowers and those kinds of things. They might really be kind of like what looks the coolest. So that might be Raspberry and Romu's line, because a lot of you guys are in love with Raspberry, especially because she rejected Aruzo and decided that he wasn't handsome enough for her. So I really love that setup. I think that Sirari might end up being a independent female who doesn't need anyone in her life and just wants to chase down moles. So she's actually working on performing attacks on the various creatures for us to try to unlock Ramhorn and to try to unlock ooh, what's this? Spiky Body. Ooh, she might unlock Spiky Body. That would be kind of interesting. So we might end up with actually more than one tribe, or like 2 sides to the tribe, the petals and the berries, that kind of branch off from this family tree. But I was so excited to see all of the ideas that you guys had in the comments. And I know that was a lot to talk about at the beginning, and we always talk about so much stuff at the beginning of our niche episodes. But I just think that's a really great idea, and I really think that we'll be able to build up some fun stories from that. We also have Enola, we've got Mikoana, and we have got Yui and Yui the Peaceful. I think this is going to be Yui the Gentle-Hearted. I don't believe that she's going to be this interesting little spin-off, you know, kind of young, alone, here with her sisters, away from her sisters who are her brother and her sister focusing on starting a family, not the tribe leader, not really feeling like she wants to be the tribe leader. I think she's Yui the Gentle-Hearted, and I think we might try to see if she could pass on maybe a special kind of white patterning that might end up becoming a seer line where they refuse to eat any meat. They won't take meat from moles, from crabbits, from Berina. Maybe they won't even attack at all. So that would be kind of interesting to have those 3 branches of the family, or 4 if we end up having a spiky baby with Miss Sirari back here, and just kind of seeing where they'll go. But I really love that. So thank you, Pixel Popcorn. We are definitely going to rename this tribe the Petalberry tribe. I might even change the thumbnail for them just a little bit, just so we can designate them from the legend hunters / legend seekers that we use only on streams. So that was a lot of rambling, but here's a treat for those of you guys who have made it this far. Watch the very end of this video. The very, very, very end. I mean the very end. The end slate. You're going to want to see the end slate today. I promise you, it's amazing. Okay, so there's a little sneak peek for those of you who stuck around through all my rambling. And let's go ahead and have some of the stinkiest babies possible. That would make Kisa so happy. Also, berry-eyed babies would be amazing. What? Kisa! Whoa! Oh no, she's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my entire life. My heart can't take it. Aruzo, I think I can't even handle this. She's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. She's literally the most beautiful nicheling I've ever had, and she has recessive big nose. Aruzo, were you carrying recessive big nose? No, Kisa was. Oh my gosh. I'm like almost shaking. She's so pretty, and she has nimble fingers and runner's leg. Oh my goodness. All right, I think you guys are right. I had a theory that each leg was actually calculated independently, but I think that you guys are right, and that the nichelings may inherit one leg from their parent, one leg from their mother, one leg from their father. So like the left leg will always be from one of the legs from the mother, the right leg will always be one of the legs from the father. I think you guys are right about that, but oh my gosh, this is one of the most beautiful nichelings I have ever had in my entire life, and we're going to name her after Stinky Cheese. I actually asked on my Twitter today, I said I needed some Stinky Cheese related names, and so many of you guys stepped up to it. Stepped up to the challenge. So I think we're going to name this little one Bleu. I think that's a perfect name. Hilo mentioned Bleu. Let's see. I think Bleu Yeah, Bleu, because she's got blue eyes too. Oh, that's so lovely. I think Hilo's the only one who mentioned Bleu, but we have several other beautiful French names that I'm going to butcher because apparently the French are the best at making stinky cheese. Let me know if that's true. And I'm in love with her. She is just drop dead gorgeous, guys. Also, my apologies for the confusion about thinking that maybe each arm is calculated independently. Maybe they always inherit one arm from the mother and always one from the father. We'll have to see. But this pattern, what kind of pattern does she have that gives her that? Just medium density. She's got the mask and a white pattern? White pattern? That's so interesting. How do you have white pattern but red ears? Who knows? I love the mix. This is a gorgeous nicheling, probably one of the most beautiful we've ever had. I think Aruzo's extremely proud of himself. He's gonna just go ahead and gather up some more of these berries and kind of crow about how beautiful his babies are. And I think Kisa is definitely going to agree with him. She's gonna line the nest just a little bit, and she's very excited to have another child who's going to be named after Stinky Cheese. And then over here, let me make sure we're not escaping any little food resources really quickly. All right, I thought this was another nicheling, and I was like, Yui, who have you fallen in love with? She's fallen in love with the tree, you guys. Good job, Seri. All right, but Yui can actually try. I think Yui might spend time trying to unravel some of the secrets of the world by trying to eat these nuts. And if she tries to crack open the nuts, then I think she can, given time, actually unlock. Let me see if I can find it. Now, one thing I might suggest to the niche developers is that when you're trying to sort these genes, you might be able to sort it by, like, if it's eyes, jaw, cosmetic stuff, if it's attack, kind of like you can sort the family tree now. It would be interesting if you could do that with this. So it was a little easier. Here we go, cracker jaw. So that is our goal. So I think Yui might devote her life, now that we've got enough food for a little bit, to trying to unravel the mystery of these nuts and just kind of thinking about the peaceful ways of not wanting to attack the bunnies. Her sister Mikoana, I don't think has quite as much reserves with that, but I think is kind of curious, maybe looking around. Not super ambitious, these girls back here. Anola was kind of wondering what went down with their parents, but again, I don't feel like these two are extremely ambitious. Meanwhile, this lady, Sirari over here, is very ambitious and would very, very much like to be able to do a little bit of damage. I hear some rabbits taking damage. Why, though, I'm not sure. Ha! Sirari is chasing down these rabbits that are attacking all of the various berry bushes, so that's going to make her really well beloved by Raspberry. I feel like Raspberry has something against the rabbits because she's so frustrated with them chasing eating all the berries. So I think that Raspberry would really be excited to meet her sister-in-law, Sirari. And I think Romu's worried because he can't see his daughter Hannah. And she would very much encourage Sirari to be present and to be chasing away the bunnies. Let's see. And Romu is just trying to pass on that good eyesight. So Hannah really ended up turning into a beautiful red nicheling who carries a lot of strong red. So she has the red-brown fur from her father, and she's got the red fur from her mother. I might have Raspberry. Romu, if I could pass on anything from him, I'm going to go ahead and have him pass on Nimble Fingers to kind of have that berry line going on. And if Raspberry, oh, she's only got 2 days left. Oh, that's going to be so sad. I think Romu's going to be so sad when she passes away. But I think we might try to get Green Eyes or Blue Eyes. Well, we have Blue Eyes up there. If we have the Stinky line up with Arozu and Kisa, then Raspberry, how would you differentiate yourselves? Maybe with Green Eyes? Maybe eye color isn't the best way to do it right now. I think Raspberry, I'm gonna wait and just see what kind of child she has next. All right, so that's everybody. Let's pop over here because I'm really curious. This is, she's gorgeous. Blue is one of the most beautiful nichelings I've ever had, I swear. And there's her little brother. Oh my gosh, what? Oh no, her little sister. I'm so sorry, little one. You had the jaw that made me think you were a boy, but oh my goodness. Okay, so we have one of our another stinky little girl, and I'm actually going to name this little one We're gonna name her Feta. We're gonna go ahead with Feta. Abby is one of the first people who suggested Feta. Let me check if anyone else suggested Feta. This is from the Twitter, by the way. So sometimes you guys might want to follow me on Twitter, because sometimes I'll do kind of like specific request names like this that I need really quickly. So here's little Feta. I think she's absolutely adorable. She does kind of look like a side of bacon, if I'm completely honest, but she's really cute, and she has got double nimble fingers. So she inherited that from Kisa and from Aruzo, or who knows, maybe they actually do run each arm independently. I better ask about that. That might be a good question just to ask about. But Bleu is gorgeous. I'm gonna have her scoot over a little bit. I think her dad is sassy, knowing that he has the most beautiful children in the world, and I think that Kisa doesn't really disagree with him, and she just kind of like curiously digs around at the roots. But I think that she's very proud of her two beautiful daughters, who are going to be taught to seek out the stinkiest things in life. All right, speaking of which, oh, look at her. What a beautiful little girl. We have a lot of girls. That maybe isn't a good thing. All right, we're going to go ahead and name this little one Sugar, actually, because I think that's a good name, and it is from our gigantic list of randomized niche names, which I am constantly adding to thanks to you guys, and I promise I'm going to try to find a way to share it. Somehow, Dropbox no longer works, so now I need to wait for my own website space. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Dropbox can work to some extent, but I don't think it's going to work for much longer, so I just need to be careful with it. All right, so that said, we're going to send Sirari chasing out after all of these devious bunnies. Let's see, is that a rock? So there's a rock there. She can't chase after the devious bunnies because she has been thwarted by the fact that there was a rock in the way. Sirari was thwarted by a rock, dang it. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and have Hana. I think Hana would be a little bit curious about what her aunt is up to, so she would follow, and she would see herself. Hana, lovely Hana, who's named after her grandmother, would see herself how the berry bushes have been destroyed by those bunnies that her mother really has a problem with. All right, and then I think Romu, I'm so worried. Do I have enough nesting material? I think Romu is really worried because he knows that Raspberry is getting a little older. Raspberry is a little worried because she knows she's getting older. She has literally 1 day left. Let's see if we can collect up. Come on, ladies. All right, I just need one more piece of nesting material. I'm begging you. Oh, and there, Yui, there's a perfect bunny that you could eat. Look, the bunny is eating the berries, Yui. Yui, don't... I feel like she wouldn't share with the bunny, to be completely honest. I don't feel like she would actually go ahead and like take the food from the bunny, because Yui's just super gentle. Not the smartest thing to do if you're actually trying to play the game from a strategy point of view. I know, because I know people are going to be yelling about that. But we are playing this as a very slow-paced, very lovely legacy story. So no worries. All right, so now we've got exactly 10 nesting material left. That's literally just enough to make a nest. And can we give Raspberry anything just as like a final hip hip hurrah? Let's give her some dots just as a final hip hip hurrah to possibly pass on to her last child, who will hopefully be a boy. All right, guys. Raspberry! Goodbye! Oh, and she left behind a bunch of beautiful spots on her son. All right, so this little group will go off to try to find pretty things in the world. I'm not exactly sure what kind of pretty things, but I just know that they're not so focused as this group will be on trying to get big nose and look for the stinkiest things. There's spots on this little girl too. Oh my gosh, and she looks awesome. All right, let's go ahead and name the little boy first. So we have this young gentleman, and what are we going to name him? Let me check. I'm going to zip up our random name list, and Hishi is actually the name that he landed on. So Hishi, there we go. All right, so this is little Hishi, and yeah, some of the names will be really themed, like our stinky cheese names, and some of the names will just be completely random from a name list of thousands of creatures, which is quite fun, actually. All right, so we've got this little group going. Hishi, what are your traits? He has velvet paw and runner's leg, so I think he's going to be a good explorer. He might actually help us seek out the stinky things, because Kisa is kind of the leader of the tribe right now, and maybe we should just focus. They're the Petalberry clan, or the Petalberry tribe, excuse me. I must have warrior cats on the mind for some reason. But they're the Petalberry tribe, and Kisa is the leader, so I think she would say she'd like be kind to Romu, who's feeling a little bit bereft because he just lost his mate, but she would point out to her brother that it is important to start exploring the surrounding area. And to be honest, I think that's something that her brother's young children are not opposed to hearing, because Hana would be very interested about that. And then we've got Sirari, her older aunt, who's really cool and like going around like chasing down bunnies, and there we go, just bringing in some bunny meat. And I think Hana really looks up to her aunt Sirari for that. And then I think that Romu right here, I think he might go ahead and kind of tidy up the nest because he would miss his mate, and we'll leave this nest to kind of like gently bury his mate. But man, I don't know, maybe Romu will find love again before the end of his life. But I think his sister, if not catching his ear because he's sad that he lost his mate, I think that his children, especially Hana, would be very interested in this idea of exploring. And I think that Bleu here would be very interested in seeking out her very own berry bushes and in searching for the stinkiest, most delicious thing, just like her mother is always talking about. So we'll have her do a little exploring nearby. And the more exploring she does in that grass, the closer we're getting to that big nose. So we might be able to pass on big nose as a possible mutation for her when the time comes. And I think that Feta really looks up to her older sister Bleu, and I think that Bleu really loves her little sister Feta, because they're just so similar. So we'll definitely have those two do some work together. And we'll have Aruzo jump up here. There's some bunnies doing something, who knows. And then Kisa is very happy to be the matriarch of a large family. So I think with the death of Raspberry, she's kind of taking control of the clan and saying they should seek out berry bushes and the stinkiest things possible. So finding a bunch of berry bushes will be her contribution to the clan. Or the tribe. Oh my gosh, I must for some reason have warrior cats on the name. Oh my gosh, we had a permanent nest that close the whole time. Oh my goodness. All right, and Yui, we'll go ahead and nibble on that nut because she's kind of curious about that. There we go. All right, so I think Mikoana will hear her older sister's call to start searching out berry bushes, and we'll let her go ahead and find some berry bushes. Same with Enola. I feel like Enola would kind of feel like she's been stuck in the back corner for too long, and she wants to start participating in life. There we go. And we're ready to have another beautiful baby with Miss Kisa here. Let's go ahead and see. It's another little girl. Whoa. All right. Enola, you want to get that? Okay, we might have to wait for the mole to turn around. But it's another baby girl. I feel like Aruzo is probably starting to feel a little bit sassy, but also a little bit overwhelmed because he has so many daughters. And what have I got? I have all these boy names I was saving to use from Miraculous Ladybug for Stinky Cheese, but we'll have to make do because we've got a lot of little girls. So let's go with ooh, here we go. Here's a really pretty name that I think, oh, actually Brie, that's perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go with Brie, and that'll kind of go with Feta and Bleu, and there we go. So now we've got Brie, Feta. Oh, did we not rename this little girl? I am so sorry I didn't rename you, my little one. All right, and we're gonna rename this little girl, whose abilities include being pink and spotted with blue eyes and double nimble finger. That is absolutely fantastic. But apparently one of the Stinky Cheese names is actually Emmental, and we'll call her little Emma, or little M. And if I mispronounce some of these names, I apologize. I am no good at the Romance languages. There's a reason I took multiple years of Japanese instead of French. I didn't do well with French or Spanish, but they're nichelings. Maybe they have some funky ways of pronouncing French cheese names. But all right, let's see what we're gonna do here. I really feel like Aruzu is starting to be a little tiny bit overwhelmed because he's got so many little girls and they're kind of... And he had a third nest all along. Oh my gosh. I think Kisa is kind of torn between thinking that that makes him even more attractive and slightly concerned that that might make him think about possibly getting another mate. And I don't think she'd sit very well with that now. Bleu will definitely come straight over to investigate, and her little sister will join her. Feta is definitely very curious about this too, and they only have 20 more explorations to do before we are actually able to unlock the big nose, guys, which would be pretty exciting. All right, can we get this mole? Dang it, I could have sworn we were close enough to get that mole. Oh well. All right, let's jump over here. And we have found, Mikoana has now found a berry bush that is being guarded kind of by Feta. So Feta is feeling really conflicted about the idea of attacking the bunnies and is trying to convince her sister that she can chase them away. And I think that Mekoina is starting to wonder if she should report kind of to their older sister, the tribe leader, that Yui is just letting all this food go to waste when they're starting to have more and more mouths to feed. So a little bit of drama going on over there, and I think that we can't pass up some of the food that's over here. So Enola would kind of sigh and just resign herself to still being at the cliffside of the ancients where their parents passed away. Meanwhile, speaking of all these things, I think that little Hishi, excuse me, as one of our only males. Not good, not good. He's got F&C immunity, which unfortunately, A and G, which means that he and Feta could have some children, but he's literally our only other breedable male right now, so that's not very good. But I think Romu wouldn't want to leave very far from where his mate passed away and where he had some of the happiest years of his life, and now I'm making that way too tragic, Seri. Okay, moving on. So he'll stick around here, but I think his daughters definitely have other ideas and definitely want to start doing a little exploring of their own. Hana is right over here fulfilling her duty of finding delicious berries to eat, and her little sister Sugar is joining her, and with the usual excitement and overwhelming exuberance of the young, they are knocking down all of the grass as they run after their older aunt Sirari. But alright, so there's that. Just a couple more babies this time, I think. Kisa is having so many. Is it going to be another girl? I swear, I've never had a more beautiful nicheling than Bleu, too, so I'm very excited to see. Ooh, not even a single pattern on this one, guys. What a lovely little one who's also a female. This is getting pretty interesting. I'm running out of stinky cheese names that are supposed to be dedicated to... I'm running out of stinky cheese names that could be girl names. What do I do? Okay, I'm going to completely destroy this name, and I apologize, but Epo Isisas, we're going to call her Epo, but that's apparently another type of stinky cheese provided by Violet Hyena on Twitter, so thank you. We have so many girls and I still haven't been able to use the names from Miraculous Ladybug I really wanted to. Oh man. Alright, well that's happening, and I kind of wonder if little Epo here might be in spirit aligned with her Aunt Yui's philosophy of do no harm and only want to eat berries. So, we'll have to see if that spreads. For now, meanwhile, Sirari definitely wants to do a little bit of harm. And she is going to be hunting down these rabbits as aggressively as she can. So she just found a rabbit over there. I think that Hana is really intrigued, especially because... What? Another pink nicheling? Isakura, who is sick and has a big nose and poison fangs. What? Poison fang recessive? Oh man, that might be really useful. But I don't know, immunity? Could that be? Romu, could you possibly find love once again and bring in the big nose to the tribe? But we're about to get that. I don't know if poison fangs could ever pop out without being two genes from either side either. So I don't know if we would want to do that. She doesn't have a pattern. Isakura, I don't know. Should I invite her into the tribe? We could just put her next to a bush and she could just focus on collecting something. And she actually, you know what, I think Romu would hear the shouts of excitement, and Romu would want to come see what's going on. So I'm going to have Romu come over. I'm going to have Romu invite her over, and I'm going to have Isakura, who we're going to rename now She does have big nose after all. Basia, which is a name from our amazing name list. Basia, there we go. But I like her. I don't know if she's going to be super useful for our tribe. I'm finding it hilarious how many pink nichelings there are, but I'm going to have her jump away because she's sort of startled by all of this and not really sure. She was just following her nose, literally, for berries and kind of walked in on this gigantic tribe. And I think that Kisa is feeling a little bit self-conscious about the fact that there's 3 nests next to her extremely handsome, stinky cheese smelling mate. So I don't know what she would think about this newcomer, but I think that Romu might after all find love once more. And we do have immunity E, but I don't know how widespread it is. Yeah, it's not really that poorly spread, so really I don't know if adding Basia into the tribe is really the best thing to do, but I am intrigued by that poison fang recessive. That would definitely help with eating the stinky poison berries in the future. So alright guys, I think this is good for now, but holy moly, wow, the literal most beautiful nicheling I think we have ever had. The birth of Bleu, beautiful Bleu. I can't even get over how absolutely gorgeous she is. This is really a truly amazing nicheling, but I also think she has a lot of her mother's command, a lot of Kisa's command, and I think that she might lead her younger sisters and they'll go on a grand exploring mission to unlock Big Nose. They'll be searching out the stinkiest, most delicious berries on the island. But alright guys, I hope you're going to enjoy the surprise that you're going to see in a few seconds here with our brand new Inslate. It's absolutely amazing. You can check the video description for the artist I commissioned to get it done, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.